caught up on all the names, because y'all know anything. Y'all realize that the Brimmages, they take up the whole row when we in New England or anywhere where they travel, so that's basically everybody that's coming in through the building. So, you got Gloria, you got Brenda, you got Sister Debbie. It's a whole slew of them. Anyway, it's the Boston Cruise family, and she is here with us, and she's going to give us some nuggets about how to remain healthy and what we need to do. But just let me read her bio, and then she's going to share her story with you. I think that would be wonderful for her to give you a little personal touch of who exactly she is. However, Tatiana Benjamin is 29 years old, and she is the National Account Manager for BCBSMA. Not quite sure what that stands for. I'm sure she'll let us know. And she is a certified health and wellness coach, and she's also married and expecting her very first child. So how exciting is that? In addition, in December of 2019, she became a certified health and wellness coach, and she launched what's known as the Well-Being Bar. And she provides coaching services and shares tools and resources to assist people who are just embarking or those who are well on their way to an elevated sense of well-being. And she has made it her goal to assist as many people as possible, journeying them to their optimal health. So please, without further ado, allow us to welcome into our virtual room, Ms. Tatiana Benjamin.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Vakisha, so much. I've never been introduced that way, so it feels pretty cool. As she said, I'm 29 years old, married, and expecting my first child. It's a baby girl. I am by day a national account manager for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts. That's what that stands for. And I'm also a certified health and wellness coach. I became certified in December of 2019. And basically, my story is I think it's funny. So, just like most everyone, I started out in high school super fit and no one could tell me nothing. And I went to college, and that freshman 15 came on. And then I graduated 4 years later, about 60 pounds heavier. And I was living my best life. I was grateful enough to not be down on myself, and I still loved everything about myself, but I knew that I was obese and unhealthy and that I could be better. Fast forward to 2018, I got married and I had a dream. And my dream, I had a baby, and my baby was running around, and I couldn't catch my baby, and my baby ended up missing. So that was my dream that made me wake up and say, all right, Tatiana, you got to get yourself together. And ever since that day, I started off slow. I started with just giving myself motivational quotes every morning. I switched from drinking a lot of alcohol and sodas to just really focusing on teas. I started working out, finding different workout classes that I enjoyed, and then I started eating better. And then before I knew it, I was at my optimal shape and feeling really good about myself. And I thought that I looked amazing as well. So that was just an additional plus. And I realized that if I could do it in the amount of time that I did, everyone else can as well. And that I would make it my purpose to help people as well. So, and then that's when I started my well-being bar, and I am convinced to make everybody operate at an elevated sense of well-being.
So when you say well-being bar, just excuse me for jumping in here, but I was curious about that as well. What exactly is a well-being bar?
So the well-being bar is my LLC, and it's basically I call it a bar because people are interested in bars, and you have a lot of options. So my bar, your options you get is you can choose from your mind, your body, and your soul, and those are the three different pillars in which I focus on. So it's everything well-being, and you can just have it on the rocks, whatever you want, but it's just my full options of health and wellness to all people. And the website is thewellbeingbar.com if you wanted to know.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that explanation. And now back to you.
All right, perfect. So I don't know if we want to hop into the presentation. If you guys want to display that. And forgive me ahead of time, as I said, I am pregnant, and today happens to be one of those days that I'm very burpy. So I really do apologize ahead of time if in fact some of those do come out. But we can flip through to the agenda actually. All right, so today we're going to start with, of course, COVID-19, because we would be remiss if we do not speak about that first. And then I'm going to go into the fun stuff of health and wellness. I'm just going to break down what health and wellness is, and then the 6 dimensions of health and wellness. Then we're going to do an overview on eating and exercising towards a healthy lifestyle, choosing a proper nutrition, managing a healthy weight, and then the importance of movement and physical activity. And then I'm going to get into how to set goals and the importance of setting your goal. And then we will open up for questions. If you do have questions, I believe somewhere, whichever device that you're using, you should have the ability to type your questions in the chat. So please feel free to just type whatever you'd like, because everyone's going to just be muted this entire time. Um, so without further ado, and then after me, Avante will be kicking off that workout. So please be ready for that. All right. So, as we know, the current coronavirus pandemic has impacted the globe. While researchers are not surely how it emerged in the human population, the virus is a respiratory illness that spreads from person to person. While many are asymptomatic, which means having no symptoms, it is important to pay attention to those who do have the mild symptoms, which include dry coughs, fever, shortness of breath, fatigue, and sometimes even a runny or stuffy nose. Outside of those mild symptoms, we do have a group of people that are considered high risk, and these people are at most risk for this disease to be more fatal. And those are those 65 plus, those living in nursing homes or long-term care facilities, and those with serious underlying medical conditions such as diabetes, heart disease, asthma, and HIV. So currently, as we know, there isn't any preventive or curative vaccine for the disease. So for this reason, the best way to prevent yourself and others from becoming ill and to avoid being exposed to the virus in the first place is literally social distancing. It's important to remember that this virus spreads through respiratory droplets produced by a person when they cough, sneeze, or talk. So these droplets can fall on another person's face directly, or they can also settle on a surface that is touched soon thereafter, and that's how you can contract the disease. So here on the screen, you'll see a few practices that will help minimize your exposure to the virus and keep it from spreading. And I'm sure that we've all heard these multiple times and they're everywhere every day. But be sure that effective hand washing with soap and water frequently, social distancing, staying 6 feet away, not gathering groups, staying out of crowded spaces. Stay home if you're sick. Don't try to do too much. Cover your coughs and sneezes. And most people cough in their hands, but you want to be sure to not cough or sneeze in your hand and either use a handkerchief, tissue, or your elbow. Disinfect and clean frequently. And as many have been saying, make sure you wear your mask despite how uncomfortable it might be. In regard to lifestyle practices, good lifestyle choices are essential to keeping your immune system healthy. And now more than ever, it's imperative to pay attention to your mental health. So, things you want to just keep top of mind is you want to make sure you're getting enough sleep, at least 7 to 8 hours. And then there's exercise. You want regular exercise helps normalize your immune response. And then stress reduction. Stress will kill you. You need to find ways to reduce your stress, whether that's mindful meditation or yoga. Find ways to connect with your mind, body, and soul. Keep yourself grounded. And if you feel you need help, you need to say something. Speak up, seek the care that you need. Do not feel like you're alone and that you need to suffer. Nutrition. That's the best way to ensure optimal immune status is through the food that you eat. So you want to be sure you're reducing your refined sugar intake and you're eating foods with a variety of colors and staying far away from fast food places every day. And lastly, supplements. There's certain supplements that have shown to help increase immune function, like turmeric, elderberry, ginger, probiotics, vitamins B and C, ferulic acid, just to name a few. And then lastly, before we wrap up on just coronavirus facts, you want to make sure you continue to seek your medical care. Although times have changed, you want to make sure that you're still going to get those non-urgent and preventative care services. So like your well visits, your annual exams, say you have seasonal allergies, make sure you're keeping in contact with your doctors. A lot of offices are now offering teleremote services. So schedule the things that you need via your telehealth visits. For those people with chronic conditions such as COPD, asthma, cancer, any of those things, make sure you're staying in constant contact with your providers. Those routine visits should be done remotely, so those can be done via telehealth. And any dialysis, cancer treatments, or any critical in-person treatments, those appointments should be kept. So if your providers are canceling those, stay on top of your providers and make sure that you're getting them rescheduled. And then lastly, for emergencies, if you have your chest pains, if you can't breathe or heavy breathing, anything, make sure you call 911 or go to the hospital. A lot of people are saying they don't want to be in the hospitals, but hospitals have taken great precautions to reduce the spread of COVID-19. So your risk of staying home is far greater than going to the hospital. Next slide, please. So now the fun stuff, health and wellness. So it is true that not feeling sick is one important aspect of health, but just as important is having a sense of optimal well being. And that's a state of physical, mental, social, and spiritual wellness. There are two main ways to define health, there's the medical way and the wellness way. And the wellness way is more holistic. The medical model of health is the absence of one or more of the 5 Ds, and that's death, disease, discomfort, disability, and dissatisfaction. Meaning, if you're not sick, disabled, mentally unstable, or otherwise miserable, you're considered healthy. But the wellness model is a promotion of health and a prevention of illness with less of a focus on the treatment of disease. So, the wellness definition is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well being, and not merely the absence of disease and infirmity. I personally prefer the wellness model because there's so much more to health than the freedom of sickness. Health is like a process, a way of life, and through which you develop and encourage every aspect of your body, mind, and spirit to interrelate like harmoniously as much of the time as possible. Next slide. So the dimensions of wellness from a wellness model perspective, health has 6 dimensions of health and wellness, and that's emotional wellness, physical wellness, intellectual wellness, social, spiritual, and occupational wellness. And I'm going to break all of those down for you briefly. Emotional wellness requires an understanding of emotions and coping with problems that arise in everyday life. Intellectual wellness involves having a mind open to new ideas and concepts and the ability to communicate effectively. Spiritual wellness is the ability to examine personal values and beliefs, search for meanings that explain the purpose of life, having a clear understanding of what's right and what's wrong, and appreciating the natural forces of the universe. Occupational wellness is being able to enjoy what you're doing as to earn a living and to contribute to society, having that ability to balance work and your actual life. Social wellness is the ability to perform social roles effectively, comfortably, and without harming others. It's preserving those positive relationships and continuing them. And lastly, your physical wellness. Physical wellness is all about a healthy body maintained by eating right, exercising regularly, avoiding harmful habits, making informed, responsible decisions about health, and just maintaining a positive, health promoting lifestyle. So, when you have a high level of wellness or optimal health, or what I consider an elevated sense of well being, all of these 6 dimensions are integrated and functioning together. So your physical, emotional, intellectual, occupational, spiritual, and social dimensions of wellness are in tune with one another, producing harmony. Next slide. So now we're going to get into eating and exercising towards a healthy lifestyle. And this is a quote that I absolutely love. It's take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. And as we know, this physical being, you only have this one shell one time. I don't know what happens afterwards, but I know that this is just Tatiana one time. So I'm going to make this one time the best time that I can. So I think that everyone, it's very important to live that way. So we got to take care of this shell that we are given. And first, we're going to start with choosing your nutrition. So next slide. So now I'm not here to talk to you about diets. I'm not going to do that. In fact, I personally can't even stand the word diet because in the word diet is the word die. And while you shouldn't fear death, like at this time, I want nothing to do with it. So I try to just stay away from that. And most diets to me equal starvation, and that's just not it at all. So we need to really focus on changing our minds and our approach to what we consider diets to be, and we need to focus more on our overall nutrition, which calls for more than just a short term 3 day, I'm not going to eat bread or I'm only going to drink smoothies, and you just lose that quick 10 pounds and you gain it back again. I'm talking our overall nutrition and working towards a sustainable life change. A balanced diet. A balanced diet is absolutely key, ensuring that you're getting all of the essential ingredients that your body needs. Many diets sometimes cut out parts of these essential ingredients, which is why you don't really get that sustainable change that you're looking for. So you want to make sure that your diets include proteins, carbohydrates, fats, waters, vitamins, essential minerals, and phytochemicals. And for those who don't know what phytochemicals are, they're basically things that fruits and vegetables produce on their own. So like some blueberries produce like shoot the word just thinking, but it's something that fruits and vegetables produce, antioxidants. So that's a type of phytochemical. Um, but everyone loves to eat, and some more than others. I'm probably on the more than other side. But obtaining and consuming food is a basic need for all living organisms, including us humans. But in our day and age, there's an epidemic of overweight and obesity due to the norm of overconsumption of food, especially food that's low in nutritional value. Healthy full living requires consumptions of food that are in their natural state. So that's what we mean when we say nutrient dense foods. These are meaning they provide a high level of nutrients like vitamins and minerals. Then we want to limit our calorie dense foods. And these are foods that offer their energy in the form of added sugar and saturated fats. So these are your baked goods, those amazing cupcakes and donuts. And then we also want to limit our processed foods. And these are everything else that we eat, which is all industrial derived. These are our salts, our sugars, our fats, all of those things with added flavorings and all those additives that are really, really good. We just really want to limit those. And when we are changing our relationship with food, we need to understand what food is and its purpose. Food has three primary functions: it's to provide chemical constituents to the body, to provide the energy needed for life, and then to be pleasurable, including satisfying hunger. Eating healthy food doesn't mean that you must never have a donut or some junk food, or in my case, a buffalo chicken wrap with a side of cheesy bread and extra marinara sauce. You can still have those things, it's okay, but just sometimes. And health is achieved by eating a modest amount of quality fresh foods most of the time. Those things you can still add in, but it's not like I'm going to eat these Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. You got to cut all those days down. And do not feed food with your negative emotions, boredom, and unhappiness. And you want to avoid foods with a lot of chemicals and pesticides. Um, as much as possible, you want to be sure to buy fresh, organic fruits, vegetables, and meat. Yes, organic does cost a lot more, but you'll find that when you're paying for more quality food, it will help you eat a little bit less because you're not trying to spend that much money when you're at the grocery store. And a key for shopping, you want to shop mostly on the outer edges of the grocery store instead of buying in the inside, a little from the inside, which is the inside shelves. You'll find that the produce, dairy, meats, and fresh breads are always more than likely arranged on the outside of the walls of the market. The inside aisles are what contains your processed foods. So you want to be sure you're buying little enough things that are in packages, cans, bottled, even frozen foods. You want to limit that as much as possible. And I promise you, your body and your brain will thank you. Next slide. So, managing a healthy weight. Many people consider overweight to be primarily a cosmetic issue. And although feeling attractive may be important, overweight is a serious health issue in which individuals are predisposed to a variety of illnesses, especially among those in the African American community. And it really refers to heart disease and type 2 diabetes. So, managing your body weight is primarily a matter of adopting healthy, full living habits rather than adopting like unusual weight loss regimens that are not going to work and not being in search of that ideal body size in which the media says you should be. Um, Sorry. So sensible and successful weight lossers live their life healthily and let their bodies find the weight that's right for them. And this involves doing the following. So you want to forget slim and go for health. The images in the media are just that, images in the media. There are a variety of types of body sizes, shapes, and fat compositions that are healthy. We want to be sure we're setting realistic goals. So we'll touch more on the goal setting later, but it's important to let go of all those social pressures towards unattainable goals and do not succumb to the media and be real with yourself. So eat only when hungry and don't overeat. So pay attention to your hunger signals. Be aware of your habits and customs that influence your eating behavior. Don't feed your feelings. And I'm going to say it again, don't feed your feelings. Stress, anger, anxiety, loneliness, boredom, fatigue, anger, these are all things that motivate overeating. So we want to find different ways to foster those feelings and ways to connect with ourselves to help ourselves in those mental health stages like a yoga or meditation instead of picking up that pint of ice cream. Again, it's okay, but that's some of our problems. Eating healthy foods. You want to base your nutrition intake on more whole grain foods, some beans, nuts, fresh fruits, veggies. Remember the balanced diet that we spoke about on the previous slide? That is key. And then exercise. Move your body. Take a class, go to the gym, take a walk, do something for at least 30 minutes a day, at least 4 to 5 times a week. Then we want to limit mindless snacking. I don't even think I need to explain that to you, but there's no reason no bag of chips is meant to be limitless or bottomless. You need to stop scrolling on Facebook and chomping on whatever's on the side. You do not need to do that. And then what kind of will crush a lot of people's hearts is consume little to no alcohol. I mean, you're going to live your best life and that is totally fine, but take it easy. You never need as much drinks as you actually think you do. I'm talking to everybody. But you can just choose to be a healthy weight, and the time to start eating healthy and being physically active is now. As a matter of fact, it will be in about a half hour when you do your workout class. But speaking of physically active, can we move to the next slide, please? So for some people, life has become so busy that they simply say their biggest issue with being physically active is that they have no time to exercise. And if that's not the biggest excuse that I ever heard, because I used to make that excuse up too. And if that's you, it's all about your priorities. You need to rethink your priorities and put what's important up top. And the most important aspect of making the decision to exercise is commitment. Just as you devote time and effort into accomplishing other goals like graduating or making sure you make it to that happy hour at 7, you can keep that same energy when it comes to working out and keep that strong commitment to move your body. So, physical activity is anything you do when you're not sitting or lying down. Besides the direct effects on health, physical activity can reduce stress, anxiety, depression. It can improve sleep and mental functioning and contribute to enhanced work and academic performance. On the screen that you'll see that there are 6 components of physical activity. There's motivation, which is the willingness to focus attention on energy and movement. So that's finding your why. There's cardiorespiratory fitness. This is the body's ability to obtain and utilize fuel and oxygen efficiently during sustained, effortful physical activity. So, this is like doing some aerobics. Body strength, the ability to lift or move an object. And an object is including yourself up some stairs. So, grab some weights, do some strength training, try some Pilates, do something. Endurance. This is the ability to move an object. Again, move yourself. You don't want to be the one that can't find their kid because they're too heavy. Um, so it's the ability to move quickly without becoming fatigued. So this develops when you extend yourself past former limits. So if yesterday you walked 1 mile, today try walking 1.2 miles. Next week, try 1.5 miles. Just push yourself a little bit more each time. Um, Flexibility. This is the ability to move a joint through range of motion. So try some Tai Chi, take a yoga class. That will really help with your flexibility. And last but not least, body composition. And this is the body's relative amount of water, bone, fat, and tissue. That can get really scientific, so I'm not going to really break that down too much. Um, but as we know, physical activity is not everyone's thing, but it's important and we have to make it a part of our life. Being sedentary is not an option. You don't have to run the marathon tomorrow or ever, but you just have to do something. So start slow, find your thing, and just stick with it. Next slide, please. So goal setting. Goals are seen as internal representations of desired states or outcomes. Goals are how we see what we want or the results that we hope to experience. They evolve with increased levels of knowledge, self understanding, and feedback from others. As we learn more about ourselves and experience the products of our commitments, our goals are likely to be further refined and shaped. So, I don't know if anyone has ever heard of the SMART method of goal setting. It's really used in schools and pretty much everywhere. But as you'll see here, SMART just stands for specific, measurable, adaptable, realistic, and time defining. And it's an easy way to really shape your goals. So, S, specific, is your goal needs to clearly state what is to be achieved by who, where, and when. M is measurable. So this articulates the goal in a quantifiable fashion. It answers how much, how often, and how many. Adaptable. This is formulated as if then statements to safeguard and to avoid sense of failure or incompletion. So goals need to be flexible. If situation X happens, then I'm going to do Y. And then realistic. Be mindful of your life and the stuff you have going on. Do not set goals that you know that are not going to be attainable, and then that'll just set yourself up for failure. And then time defined. When? Establish the time frames for when you will do or when you plan to accomplish the goals. When we focus on achieving our goals, it's imperative to acknowledge our strengths and recognize our challenges because what we focus on grows. Focusing on strength brings to mind all the times that we know that we were capable because strength provides the confidence that we need to keep going. But it's also important that we're aware of our challenges or our habits that stop us from making positive changes. When we heighten our awareness about them, it's easier for us to overcome them. Next, you want to be intentional. Focus on your specific purpose. Clarifying your intention provides you the energy, insight, and information that you need to map out your journey. And again, it's so important to just be real with yourself. And then be ready. Being ready is key. Understand that you're willing, able, and ready to put in the work that optimizes your chances for success. This will reduce disappointments and it will reinforce forward movement. Commit and hold yourself accountable. And then when you get done, treat yourself. Give yourself a reward, but then don't get distracted. Let that reward be minimal, be happy, celebrate, but refine and then keep moving on. And you'll find that in 3 months, in 6 months, or even in a few weeks, it only takes 21 days to create a habit that your goals will be met and you will start getting into the sustainable life change that you're looking to do. And then you operate at your own version of an elevated sense of well being. And that is my little spiel for today. So, questions?
Well, Tatiana, first of all, we want to just thank you for such a wealth of knowledge that you have shared with us today. I'm sure many of us are sitting over here like, because we know what to do in our minds. But when you have to put that down and make it a SMART goal, it can sometimes be a little daunting. But I think you did an awesome job of breaking it down, helping people understand that you have to have an actual goal, that mental health plays a strong part of a healthy lifestyle. And health, also another point that I really thought was wonderful was that a healthy lifestyle is not a quick fad diet or a shake or something like that. And while those things are good for a time, essentially they do have a history of trying to make things kind of pull back.
Right.
So we've got a lot of comments about this being great information. I have someone that said that they're going to get their goal set. Thank you very much for that. Um, and we're just going to go ahead into some of these questions that we have. I can go up because there wasn't that many, Sean. You don't need to email them out to me. One of the questions was, are all meats filled with killer chemicals?
Not all meat. So that's why we really want or promote buying organically, because when you're not buying those organic meats, you are putting yourself to maybe all those meats that are pumped with preservatives and all those things that they use to keep it fresh longer.
Right, right. That I had a gentleman I was talking to today, and he was very much involved with health, and he was saying, what kind of gas do you put in your car? And I was like, I put mid grade generally. He's like, well, why? And I was like, I mean, because it's just a better grade. I know I don't have to. And he said, well, if you had a BMW or a Porsche, what would you put in it? I was like, you got to put premium in it. And he said, that's exactly how you have to think about your food, because a lot of us hear that O word, and then we like
Mhm.
22, 23, 24.
Right,
And you start adding up those coins and you're like, it's so much easier than that. So that's an awesome thing to be able to help understand that organic is not a bad word, and you can
right.
find effective, really well priced organic foods.
And then it's really also about finding a routine. So many of us, we don't like going to the grocery store too much. So we think if we're going to buy organic and small, then we'll find ourselves in the grocery store every other day. But if you are being real cautious and being very specific about what you're doing and setting your goal on Sunday, think about everything that you're going to eat for the week. Do your shopping for the week. I know a lot of us like to go to BJ's and just grab that big old bag of chicken, which is fine. They do have some organic ones, but you just want to be cautious of this. It's a lot better for your body and your intake to get those organic, freshly made foods, the fresh meat, instead of those that can just sit in your freezer that you can buy in January and you can still cook this chicken in December.
You why are you calling people all out in the front street? You calling
Yeah,
people
I'm
to the
I'm
front
just
street.
projecting. This is me projecting.
You're telling the truth. Okay. Our next question is, what is a good diet or menu for a person with diabetes? Can you talk to my dad, please? Please, this ain't my question, but
Yeah.
I need you to talk to my dad.
So when it comes to those with diabetes, it's very complicated because you need to really be aware of your sugar intake. And a lot of foods have these hidden sugars or added sugars that no one's aware of. And you also want to be really cautious when you're thinking about juices and milks. One of my clients who had diabetes, we were working together, and he was super happy because I switched over to oat milk and everything's great, but you want to start reading these nutrition labels. Granted, there's a bunch of things on that you might not have any idea, but you want to pay attention to the sugar and the added sugar. These things that are quote unquote healthy, when you look at that nutrition label, you'll see that one serving has 26 grams of sugar, and that's all the sugar that you need for 3 days.
That's. So if you were giving somebody, like, if, and again, I know this is free knowledge, but if you're giving someone that has diabetes, just, hey, these are a few things that you want to make sure that you're doing, what would you tell them?
Whole grains, fresh fruits, even frozen fruits are okay, and then up your green veggie intake.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, you came from me, as you seem to be doing, and that's okay. About the the chips not having an endless, the chips not having the end of the bag. But for me, that's exactly one of the questions is, what's a good snack for those who just want to snack? Now, I'm going to tell you, for me, it is not cake, candies, cookies. That's not my thing. I love a potato chip. Me and potato chips and pretzels are like best friends. It's like my thing in the world.
Mhm.
So when it comes down to eating healthy, the challenge that I have is that I like fruit, but the sweetness kind of turns me off. So if you were to give me personally a good salty snack to stay engaged with, what would you give me? And what good snacks would you give for anyone else that wants to snack that may like the fruit and celery?
So, for those who like the chips, the easiest way to keep that salty savory is to make it yourself.
Mm.
When you take out the Lay's factor and you cut yourself up a sweet potato and you bake that or throw that in the broiler and put a little of Himalayan sea salt on it, you're going to satisfy that crunch and that
Mhm.
crunch that you're looking for and that little bit of salt taste. Salt is not terrible. A
Mhm.
little bit of salt is actually needed, but the amount of salt that's in those processed Funyuns or Doritos are just not it.
Plain, I'm okay with plain. I don't need all that salt. No.
But yeah, so make your snacks yourself. So in Pinterest, I live by Pinterest. I say Pinterest saves lives. You
Mhm.
can find a whole bunch of great healthy recipes, and healthy is not gross. Everyone has this look of I'm just going to eat boiled eggs and eat half grapefruits all day. That's not the thing. You can have all those things. You can have chips, but you just make them yourself. Something that I really enjoy is like I'm an ice cream person. I like cold things.
Mhm.
One of my favorite little snacks to make is I dip blueberries into Greek yogurt and then I freeze it. It literally takes 20 minutes and I'll sit down and pop those and eat them like it's popcorn. So therefore, I'm still getting protein from my yogurt and then I'm getting the sweetness from the blueberries.
That-
Um,
That's a
if
good
you
thing.
are, and like me too, I love anything sour. You can give me a 5 pound bag of Sour Patches and I will demolish those in 5 days.
Not a Sour Patch. That's the one candy I do like.
It's great. And another Pinterest find is grapes. If you take grapes, go buy some grapes and buy some Jello mix. There's sugar-free Jello mix, and what you do is you roll the grapes into the Jello mix, and then I don't. The frozen grapes are too sensitive for my teeth, so I just put it in the fridge. But it gives it that little sour thing, and the grapes are giving it sweet. So you got Sour Patch grapes and you can do
Ooh.
that with strawberries. If you're a Swedish fish person, you can cut up some strawberries, bake them. You might want to do it today on this 90-degree day, but bake your strawberries for about 2.5 hours. It dries them out, and it tastes like a Swedish fish. So there's ways to still satisfy that sweet tooth that you have or that savory tooth without going into aisle 9 and CVS and stocking up.
Awesome. That is great. So now this is another one that kind of hits close to home because I do have arthritis as well. So what about when you have arthritis? You exercise and about after 3 days, you have an arthritic flare and you can't move. And then sometimes it's no matter how light the exercising was. I know what has worked for me, but as a health and fitness coach, what would you say?
So I would say you need to really, I haven't really, I gotta be honest with you guys, I haven't truly worked with anyone with arthritis. I have read up on it a lot, but you just want to change the different workouts that you're doing. If you find that what you're doing is more strenuous and causing flare-ups, simply stand up and just do some of these.
Mhm.
Find yourself some 2 pound weights and do literally minimal work is better than doing nothing.
You're absolutely right. For me, I had, going to see my rheumatoid doctor. He just would tell me all the time that you have to move. When you stay stationary and you do not move, that's when your joints lock. And it's really important that you do the exercises, that you build up that strength in the cartilage until you're able to do something. Walking is the best, less strenuous activity. Sometimes you just walk for a little while and you're fine, but that's what I know worked for me. So that will be some of the advice that I would give. That like the repetitive motion you were just talking, it's a big deal, but you have to kind of condition those joints to do things for you. And I
Mhm.
know that it's worked for me.
Walking is good. Swimming is also another thing. Even if you
Even
don't
better.
know how to swim,
Mhm.
being in the water is really good for all of your joints. So if you just wanted to do some laps like around a kiddie pool or like in 4 feet of water, that also really helps.
Awesome. So our next question is, are there any resources or support groups to assist with keeping the healthier lifestyle that you might recommend? Sometimes sharing recipes or exercises with others keeps the motivation to adhere to and adapt to a healthy lifestyle. And as you being a health coach, are there any forums or things that you can recommend that one can get into that might be on the call today so they can stay connected?
Yeah, so there are a lot of Facebook groups. So I don't know where everyone's from, but a lot
All
of
over.
cities have like their own Facebook groups. There's a lot of Instagram Facebook groups. I'm personally a part of Peloton. Everyone thinks that they need to have a Peloton bike to use Peloton, but you do not.
Nope.
Peloton
Yep.
has an app and they have great yoga classes. And aside from the apps, you don't even need those. If you just follow these people on social media accounts or follow any of these fitness instructors or fitness platforms on these social media platforms, you'll find that there's a whole universe out there of like-minded people that are looking for the same information. So personally, I do Peloton. I'm a part of a few local Facebook groups as well. But I would definitely use social media in that way.
Awesome. And do you think it's a good idea to eat more fruits and vegetables rather than so much of meat products? Personally, what's your take on that?
Personally, yes, and this is not for everyone, I don't eat red meat. And I'm strictly more of a chicken, turkey, fish, veggies, and fruits. So I do think it's more important to have a lot more fruits and vegetables than you are having meats, but you also want to make sure that you're not limiting your protein. And there's other ways to get your protein in. So earlier I was talking about how I dip my blueberries in yogurt. So yogurt is a great source of protein. Cottage cheese is a great source of protein. Um, excuse me, there's also great organic protein shakes that are veggie based that you can also incorporate into your days. So if you are cutting out that meat or as much meat, you're still going to get that sufficient amount of protein in.
Well, now see, you didn't open the back door where I got to walk through because I absolutely love red meat, but red meat does not love me. And so basically, I guess for the last 2 months, I've been really trying to lessen to almost eliminate the red meat. However, I did a couple of weeks of vegetarianism, and what I found is that I don't like beans. I don't like them. So that's very hard for protein. So you giving some of the excellent sources of protein was very helpful. So just to make sure we just can go back over that for those that may not have heard or fully understood. You're saying that you can do yogurt. You're saying you could do cottage cheese. I know you did say something about a shake. I have an aversion to shakes. I
Do you
don't
not like that chalkiness?
I don't like the chalk. I don't like the sweet. I don't like a shake. I hate it. So if I don't have to drink that, what would you tell me to do? Because again, I like salt, and don't try to give me no shake at all ever in life.
So it's fine. So you need to start doing egg whites. Make
Okay.
your egg white omelet. That's a big source of protein.
Okay.
So that really does help. And for those that maybe don't think that they like the protein shake, the taste, some protein shakes are just, I don't even know the word for it. It's just, um, I found a brand, it's called Isopure.
Mhm.
And their protein shakes are not your chocolates, your vanillas. They're more like a juice.
Okay.
I personally get the mango lime one, and it doesn't have that aftertaste or that chalky feeling that most protein shakes do have. A lot of people really like the protein bars and stuff. Those are also things that you need to be careful and look at the ingredients when you're looking at those, because the sugar in some of those protein bars are insane.
Mhm.
Um, the RX bars are really good. So if you like that, they have one that's a sea salt chocolate or something. That one's really good. So RX bars are great. Peanut butter. Peanut butter is a great source. Almond butters, those nut butters are great sources of protein as well. So throw that on an apple and have yourself a great snack.
Okay, so we have another question about how do you know it's truly organic? You know full well everything slaps a label on it, and then they add the price and they jack up the price, and then now all of a sudden it's organic. So how in the world can you know something is organic?
So the US tells us, but it really does have the USDA organic symbol. And then you also want to make sure that when it does have that organic label, my one thing is I make sure that it's not tested in certain facilities. That also helps as well.
Mhm.
And then when you're looking at the ingredients, you want to make sure that when you're looking at the ingredients, anything that you can't read or that you feel like you need to Google, it's more than likely not 100% organic. And that's a lot of things that people need to understand. When things say that they're organic, it can be, I think, like 85% organic in order to get that USDA organic symbol. So while the peas and the chicken part of it may be organic, you're going to have some wheat or something else in it that isn't. So while that stamp is on there, you still want to look at the ingredients under that nutrition label to see what it states. And that's how you know exactly what's organic in the product that you're getting.
Awesome. I have another question that people are talking a little bit about dairy and gluten. How would you talk? I know we've heard it tell that, African Americans are really not supposed to eat dairy. So, like, can you just spread a little news on what it's about for dairy and gluten and some suggestions with that as well?
Yep. So there is the most I really know. I'm not too heavily known on like the dairy free, but there is a lot of lactose milks. You want to switch over from those cow products to nut based products. So there's a lot of those, all those milks are transferred over into type of nut milks. There's a lactose free and there you'll find a lot of those things. And I do apologize. I don't know too
No,
much
no,
about a
no.
dairy base, but I just do know that you do just want to stick to lactose and maybe more nut-based milks and things like that to stay away from those cow, I'd say cow products.
I hear you. I'm going to put another. I'm going to throw another curveball at you to see how you think, because this is a question that's come out. You just spoke about milk. You spoke about lactose free. You spoke about non-animal milks, doing more plant-based milk. One of the things that I struggle with is, like, I love coffee, but I like milk as well, and I'm okay with not drinking it. But they're not creamy enough. So if I'm starting to drink lactose milk, would that suffice? Would you know, or how would you tell someone who loves milk what milk to go to
I
keep that?
think if you like the creamy part of milk, oat milk seems to be the most um, I can't think of that word, but
Gotcha.
it's the
I
it's
gotcha.
the it's the most just like milk because it gives it that creamy texture or that thickness, not thickness, but that milk substitute that you're looking for. Because I do know like almond milk is a very more watery
It is.
than a lot. I know a lot of people. My stepson like he'll eat his bowl of cereal without milk, and he gets so mad at me when why did you get me lactose? Because he just refuses to have almond milk. But oat milk is a lot more of a thicker texture. But with the oat milks, you want to again make sure that you get the sugar-free ones because some of those oat milks are literally have as much sugar as a bag of Sour Patches.
That's terribleness. Okay. Well, actually, I think that first of all, I want to thank you so much. That was such excellent responses to the questions. I love how you answered with the I don't knows. That's great. I love a person that says I don't know. So thank you for that. I'm going to give you some of the comments that some folks have been saying because I think that it'd be great for you to hear kind of what people are talking about. I see that someone had said, let me start at the beginning here. Why isn't it showing out? Hold on a minute. Let me get back in here. Okay. We have some positive conversation here. Someone agreed that diet is death with you. We had some information. We had a little battle in the chat about tilapia, and we agree that.
All the processed fish that ain't real.
So there was a battle in the chat about the po man's fish that nobody really wants to eat, but people love. And then it's like, no, you can actually get wild caught fish only, please. Wild caught fish only. We did have some lovely suggestions for oranges being a good fruit. Had someone say this is great information. Physical activity 3 to 5 days out of a week is great exercise. We did hear a bunch of folks say that this was an excellent presentation and you did an awesome job for that. And we got some information about whole foods being naturally organic. We did have some folks say, is this what means by New Year resolution it comes from? And that's why it's hard to keep a goal. That was hilarious. Uh, and then we heard a lot of conversation about this being good information about what kind of milk. You never really heard about different milks to purchase and that was really helpful. Had some information about Sprouts and any other kind of health food store are really good places to shop at. No salt chips. Again, I don't know about you, but if it's processed, question it. So I know that's something. Someone says they've been eating organic corn chips and they taste pretty good. So we thank you for
Oh,
that.
you like those? I've tried a lot of different organic chips, and some of those is like an organic butternut squash chip that I just wish that I could get those 2 seconds back of my life because I don't really, nope.
I see
Nope.
that. Okay, I don't think that's. I agree with you. Some of the stuff. That's another thing. When you're trying to get into a better healthy eating platform, and you start to walk in that, and you start to taste the stuff, and you like,
Hmm.
And that sometimes can cause you to give up. So it's just like trying on a pair of shoes. You have to keep trying it on until to see what fits. So you just got to
Yeah.
keep going. I also see that, okay, Family Gresham, we have that the family began a monthly walking or running challenge online, and it's been very motivational. And more of them are exercising daily, and it's been really fun. So awesome.
Nice. I saw some pop-ups about pizza. Now, one thing, I am a pizza addict as well. It's totally fine to order sometimes, but if you're a person that really likes pizza every week, something that I've been doing to replace my pizza, I guess, wants are to you don't need that doughy bread.
Mhm.
Get some flat. So what you use for like burritos or tacos, get some of those, make your own pizza sauce. It's so easy to get a pound of tomatoes, bake that with some seasoning on it, and then blend it up, and there's your tomato sauce. It's okay to use some cheese sometimes. I personally do not like any of that organic cheese. I'm not gonna lie to you, I do get organic cheese, but it's it's just not it for me. Um,
I felt
so
that way
I
about soy cheese. I was like, this ain't it.
Yeah, I did that before and it didn't do it for me. I'm a Colby Jack pepper jack cheese person. So I don't cut out everything. There's certain things that I just won't. I'm not giving it up, and you can tell me nothing. I don't care. I'm not giving it up. And some certain cheeses are that. I do find that when I do make salads, though, I do prefer like the fettas and the goat cheeses. I do kind of try to stay away from the cheddar cheese and really those that are processed and pre-shredded already. So if you can get your cheese more closer to the deli where it's like all fresh and still in the blocks, then near the milk that's already in the bags, then I definitely recommend that. But again, with your pizzas, switch it to the flatbreads. You can even make a cauliflower pizza crust, and it's not as crunchy as other like your regular pizza, but it's okay. But I
Okay, well, you
definitely recommend the flat.
You talked about bread, a little bit of a bread substitute. There's some questions that are kind of flooding in. Like, what would be a bread substitute that you would offer? I know that you just said about like the tortilla shell or what have you, but what else would you give?
So you want to again make sure you're sticking with those whole grain breads. Stay away from the white breads, definitely the Wonder breads. Um, and I know potato bread's so good, but you want to kind of stay away from that too, unless you're at a cookout and you really need to have it on a burger.
On
I
a
really
hot
think that's
dog that's
okay.
burnt on the grill? Child,
It's like
no.
perfect, but you want to stay away from those. There is a bread that a lot of the people that I work with in the coaching field, they really do recommend this Ezekiel bread. Now,
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it's not an equivalent to bread, but it is a better bread option if you truly need it. And it's all about moderation again. Like instead of having your two pieces of toast, have one. Instead of having a thick piece of French toast style bread, use an English muffin. When you're having your bagel, take some of the insides out of the bagel so you're not having that full thick piece. Now I had an onion bagel this morning, not gonna lie, and I didn't take nothing out, but that's just ways to do it too.
Okay, well, Ben, I'm gonna have to come follow you up, Ben, because you said you've been half vegan for at least a year and you know all the best tasting options. So I'm gonna have to, me and Ben about to be. I need you to take me someplace to give me some
Beautiful.
good.
And then I meant to also mention as well, there's a lot of, with coronavirus, a lot of these subscription services have been coming out the woodworks or been here, but have been more noticeable now. And there's one subscription that I am a part of. It's called Misfits Markets.
Mhm.
And I use this to get all of my fruits and vegetables. And you can get a delivery weekly or bi-weekly, and you get a full box of all organic veggies and fruits. Um, and I do mine bi-weekly, and like I juice a lot. So my most recent box, I had sweet potatoes, mangoes, apples,
Ooh,
cucumbers. I had cabbage. So, and it's $30. I get the family of four box, $30, and you get 15 to 20 pounds of vegetables and fruits.
well, that's
And
great
they
for.
have an option for they have a smaller option too. I think there's like a $22 subscription, and then there's like a $35 one. And it's all organic, and you can get it. I get it bi-weekly.
There's also some great tips in here in the chat, and forgive me, you all, for those who's maybe putting some stuff, and I might be skipping it. However, I do see the Aldi's. I am an avid Aldi shopper. Aldi's has an excellent organic section.
Does it? I've been thinking about that. There's an Aldi's near me, and I tried to go, and then I tried to get a shopping cart, and it asked me for a quarter, and I was over it.
You
I
turned
just
off,
didn't
but believe
understand.
it or not, they have cremini this, and Tatiana has cremini mushrooms. You can get asparagus in there. You can get all kind of good stuff. That it's a little fancy. It's just it started out in Germany. It's an excellent store. It's just it came to America as a low ball kind of thing, but it's not. It's really cool.
I'm gonna need to give it a chance because I was just like, why you need a quarter for? It's
It
just a
is a
quarter, but I was just like, why?
We're gonna take an Aldi's break since I'm an Aldi's fan. They want you to have a quarter because they want you to put the cart back because they want to make certain that they maximize on the actual staffing level and staffing model in the store because they pay their cashiers much more money than the standard one. So they eliminate all that extra.
Makes sense. And I was just mad over that quarter. I was like, who has a quarter?
Okay, so we have some good stuff about spelt bread. I mean, Simone got one out here. She's hilarious. She's like, can I just exercise more? Because that just means that Simone want to eat what she want to eat. So the question is, can I just exercise more, please? And thank you.
You could, but that might just keep you sedentary. Yeah. So if you're still going to eat whatever you're going to eat, and then maybe exercising more still might not mean that you are exercising enough. The only way it's going to work if you're exercising more is if the more you're exercising is really you're burning a lot more calories than you're taking in. That's the only way that that's going to work. Or if not, you're just going to kind of just be coasting along.
Right. So let's see, what else do we have? There's so many things in here. I'm so thankful. I know someone just asked me if they can ask a question. I just asked them to put it in the chat for me.
And even like while you're looking, like things like this, when you're sitting down, everyone's like working from home a lot lately. Stand up, simply stand up during your meetings. Don't sit down all day long. Just stand up. And that's one simple change.
And I know that's one of the things that I know we talked about in our take care challenge at work is like get up and walk for an hour, once an hour. Try to get your blood moving. So I know a lot of people were talking about I heard cashew milk was a good option. Okay, so that's really good. Someone said something about some vegan donuts. Okay, so what if the best thing to eat for someone who has gastrointestinal issues? They've dealt with it for 2 years now and still can't figure out what things I can eat and what things you can't. Oh, I'm gonna let you take a stab at this, but I have some info too.
So you might have more information than I do because when it comes to the gastro issues, it's kind of different for everyone. Mm-hmm. I know that you should probably stay away from a lot of the spicier foods because that kind of does like the acid reflux and it really triggers the stomach. Mm-hmm. But that's one that I really like to leave up to people's doctors because everybody's different. But Vakisha, if you have more information, I stay away from that.
What you just said is exactly what is necessary. Everybody is a little bit different. There's been studies that haven't been necessarily proven, but I know that it did work for me when I did try it. And that is a little bit of the blood type situation and where it talks about your blood type actually having something to do with how you eat. And everybody's got a thing. Everybody has something that'll work. But for me, I'm an A positive. And so essentially me being an A positive, I'm not supposed to have chicken. I'm not supposed to have seafood. I'm not supposed to have beans. I'm not supposed to have cabbage. You keep hearing this. I'm not supposed to have jalapenos. I'm not supposed to have pepper. I'm not supposed to have peppers. I'm not supposed to have mushrooms. I'm not supposed to have tomatoes. And so essentially, which is very funny, is that when the lady told me this, I said, well, just kill me now. However, just kill me now. But what I did find out after, she just said, just try it for a week and don't eat it. I slept better. My stomach wasn't irritated. I didn't have any, I wasn't sick. I had lots of energy. And for me, it worked, you know what I mean? But you trying to tell me I can't have shrimp. Work for me. So, but everybody has something different, exactly what you said. So everybody's stuff is totally different. Definitely stay away from gluten and dairy. That's something that, Ariana, ask your mom, ask Trisha if you were A positive, because it sounds like you might be running up my back door over here. So somebody asked, what do you think about Dr. Sebi?
Who I have watched a lot. I personally have some friends that actually tried the full Dr. Sebi way of living. I think that if you can do it, yes. I agree. I personally just put some of those things into my practices, like some of the supplements, the the alkaline water, I definitely think that's very, very, very important. His practices are life changing. So I'm all for everything Dr. CB Toxin says, but I'd be a hypocrite to say that I follow it because I don't truly, truly follow it, but I am 100% and agree with all of his studies.
Okay. Well, I really want to thank you. We're going to, guys, I know we got questions and stuff kind of still flying into the chat, but we've got to get ready for our next workout session. But I know that, Tatiana, you did an amazing job. And I know that many people may want to reach out. Listen, let's just be clear again, give you Tatiana's creds again. She is she's a health and fitness coach, y'all. So that means that health and wellness, you can hit her up. You can get her coaching services, and I'm sure she'll be able to help you all. Getting a health coach is also, it's a really, really good investment, because someone said it in here and they were talking about it all takes moderation and preparation. And those are really great things. So yes, she says, do you perform personal consultations?
Yes, I'll before I log off, I'll put my information in the chat for everyone.
Awesome. So I just like to thank you again on behalf of our National Youth Department and all of our guests on the line here. You had a wonderful presentation that you shared with us. Lots of great detailed information, and we really thank you for your time. Hearing well done, Tatiana.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And remember, everyone, y'all can do it. You just got to get out of your own minds first. And that's the first thing you got to do.
So at this time, thank you so much for joining us. And now if I can have our, all hands, everybody's got the, everybody, so we could see y'all. You had 180, I think at one point you had about 170, 180 people in here just saying, hey. So
wonderful.
Great presentation. So now, gang, y'all ready for our workout? Y'all ready for our workout? Because I see some of y'all got y'all muscle shirts on. I see some of y'all got y'all sweatpants on. I see some of y'all fully dressed like y'all going in to work or from home. And I'm not mad at you at all. I'm not mad at you at all, because you know what? That's how it goes down. We want to remind you all that it is live testimony service tonight. Please share with your friends and family that do not have the Zoom or internet access, that they will be able to go ahead and call in for service tonight like they normally are. Also wanted to make sure that everyone knows that, yes, Sister Norvella, you girls, the situation, Google it, you'll find all about it. But I want to make sure that you all know what we've got going on tonight. So right after, God willing, right after testimony service, we'll be going, and you can go and get your message from the buzz. But is there anything that I left out? Deacon Andrew, LaShonda, Mari? No? All righty. So y'all did y'all stretching? Y'all got yourselves together? I'm going to let Avante take it away. All right, Mom. I see Mother Mays is ready. I see you, Mom. I see you. All right, take it away.
We're going to a place so far away. Get a new name. So the scriptures say, new heaven, new word, new city, new bird. We're going to a place so far away. Get a new name.
I appreciate you for joining my workout today. We're going to target the triceps, we're going to target the biceps, the chest, and we're going to get some leg work in at the beginning. But I want you to trust me the whole time. We're going to do something different. Instead of having a timer today with today's program, push through and persevere as I guide you through the way. Remember, it's going to get tough, but you're tougher. With that being said, let's get started with our warm-up. We have to make sure we get a steady circulation, a steady blood flow, and we're going to get everything going, gradually elevate our heart rate. We're going to get right to it. Let's start off with the initial warm-up here. We'll start off warming up our lower body first. So I'm going to have us grab a chair, and as you can see, I have a mat ready. If you have a floor that's like a good enough, type of texture, you don't feel like you need a mat, then you don't have to go with a mat. But I recommend having one just in case. And I also have a chair here that I'm going to use. You want to make sure you have some water to get hydrated, all right? So now that I got those out the way, that's all you need for today's workout. All right, so we're going to start with pendulum swing. And The way that's gonna work, we're gonna swing back and forth. So you put your hand on your chair, take your leg. This is gonna loosen up your hip, your lower back, your hamstring. Everything you feel right now getting involved and getting engaged is being loosened up. Because like I said at the beginning, we're gonna do some brief lower body exercises. We're gonna get to our upper body. All right. And I'm also gonna modify it so all fitness levels can participate from a youth standpoint, you know? All right. Now we're gonna go ahead and switch to the other side. So now I'm doing the opposite leg. And here you go. Good. We're gonna swing back and forth. That's it. And just keep swinging. Follow along with me. I'll let you know when to switch. Let's get a good 3 more reps on this side. 3, 2. Okay. Now we're doing frontal pendulum swings. We're swinging side to side. So you hold on to your chair. Same way I am. Let's start with our right leg. And we're gonna swing in and out. That's it. Keep going. I'm giving us about 15 seconds on each side. Just keep swinging through. All right, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to switch up. All right. And let's get it. Here you go. Yep. Nice solid internal hip rotation. Here we go. Good, good, good. Let's get it. 2 and 1. All right, let's get our upper bodies loose real quick too, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna upper body loose really quick. Let's get some nice good arm swings in, some nice good arm circulation, right? So we're gonna circle our arms here, get our shoulders ready, our rotator cuffs, get our traps ready, and we're also gonna just get our backs ready. Here we go. And we're gonna roll back. Here we go, good. Let's roll backwards. There you go, good, good. Keep going, keep going. Yep. Let's do a good 3, 2, 1. All right, I'll shake the arms off a little bit. And let's start with that first exercise. Like I said, we're gonna briefly get into the lower body and then we're gonna go to our upper body. We're doing one exercise and we're splitting it up into a brief 2 sets, okay? One exercise for the lower body, 2 sets of it. These are going to be called squat lunges. So what's going to happen, you're going to squat in a lunge position, all right? And I'll show you the beginner variation before I get started, then I'm going to get started doing the regular variation. So anybody who's a beginner, as opposed to stepping and bending your back knee, like the more advanced is going to do, I want you all to just bend forward, keep your back leg straight. Just worry about that front knee bending, all right? So any beginners, remember, worry about your front knee bending. Well, think about your front knee bending. We don't gotta worry about nothing with this today. Just think about it and get it done. That's it, all right? And the more advanced, we're gonna go down and then come up. All right, so I'm gonna get started. I'm doing 40 seconds on each side. And we're gonna get started in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's start left foot forward and then exhale at the top. Keep your arms nice and neutral. You can have your hands under your chin like this, whichever position you prefer. I like this position because I'm used to having dumbbells for this type of exercise. So I like my arms to just be right here and neutral. See how my back is nice and tall. Exhaling at the top, so your quads getting involved. Some hamstring action there too. There you go. There you go. Good, good, good. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's get one more extra one after the clock. Okay, shake that off really quick. When we do the one side, we have to do to the other. All right, put the other side in. Shake it off real quick. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're putting our right leg forward and squat down. Same thing we did before. Squat, lock at the top. There we go. Squat, lock at the top. There you go. After this, we'll get right to the upper body, like I spoke of. There we go. Good, good, good. Yep, that's it. Good. Keep it up, keep it up. Get through it, get through it. Yep. Anybody who's a beginner, remember, you're in a situation where you bend your knee forward. I just wanted to reiterate and show that. But this is a regular variation here. Keep going. 3, 2, last one, and break. All right. Shake your leg off. We counted each side as one set. We did this a little bit differently today. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and count that. We're gonna be done with that particular exercise. So we're gonna count that as being checked off on the list, and we'll go right to our upper body. So like I said, if you have a mat, feel free to use it. Otherwise, you can use the ground, all right? Now, for this particular exercise, I'll use the ground. Push-ups. You know, we're going down to the ground and getting our push-ups in. 2 ways to do it. You're either going to be on your toes, like the traditional push-ups. That's how we're starting off. On your toes, or you're on your knees as a beginner, okay? So, if you're on your toes, you go down, until your nose almost touches the ground, you exhale at the top. Down till your nose almost touches the ground, exhale at the top. And beginners, you have your knees there, doing the same motion, okay? We're getting real push-ups and we're letting our arms lock, all right? We're getting that full range of motion, okay? Now, we're gonna go ahead and get started soon. It's 40 seconds of this as well. Traditional push-ups, all right? Remember, beginners, you can do it on your knees. You can have a situation where you can either try and do it diagonally with the chair. Say the ground is too tough for you right now. You can go on your chair, you can push up diagonally like that, okay? But do it with your chair. I'm gonna be on the ground. We're gonna start in 10, 9, this is our first set. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, okay. And go down, come all the way up. Down, lock at the top. There you go. Get it. Keep going, keep going. 30 seconds left. Like I said, it gets tough, it gets tougher, but let's get through this first set. Do any variation you can. Whether you're on the ground, you're diagonal in your chair, about getting it done. Here you go. 15 seconds left. Keep going, keep going. Good, good. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and break. Okay. So now we're gonna go ahead and take a 40-second rest, okay? We have a 40-second rest. So in the midst of the rest, I just wanna say, keep pushing, it's tough, it's tougher. And another thing I wanna address too, you know, us as men, we're leaders, so we always have to be headstrong. We have to think about putting our foot forward. How can we lead? How can we continue to grow? It's about doing that. It's about making sure you carry that weight with you, but at the same time, you wanna make sure that you express yourself, you let people know how you're feeling, and it's very important to be vocal along the way, because we're all human. You know, even Jesus had instances where he had moments that showed how human he was. I just wanted to put that out there. So as men, yes, we can lead. At the same time, always acknowledge what you're going through, accept what you're going through, and be willing to vocalize and express what you're going through as you progress. I want to give y'all a different message in the midst of this workout. But with that being said, I said we got to lead, right? So let's keep leading as men. We're going to go ahead and do our next set. I'm going to guide y'all along the way. We have 5 seconds left. Same thing. 3, 2, and all right, let's get in the push-up position and begin. Same thing. Exhale at the top. Keep going. Yep. 30 seconds left. Here you go. Keep it up, keep it up. Here we go. Keep going, keep going. 19 seconds left. Here you go. Almost. Keep digging. Like I said, it's tough, it's just tough. Let's get it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's do one extra one after the clock. Great. Yeah. Brush the hands off. Get right back. That's it. All right. We have a couple more sets of push-ups, right? These are going to be different. These are going to be different variations. We're going to go ahead and do double tapping push-ups. So we're going to push up. We're going to engage our cores with some nice, solid core stability. So we're going to have a situation where we push up, tap, tap. Push up, tap, tap. So we're tapping our shoulders, challenging our core stability there by getting our abs nice and involved, because you want to keep yourself in that diagonal push-up position, all right? That's what it's about. Now, with this, I recommend doing the ground variation. I really would recommend doing this particular one in the chair diagonally. So we're going to go ahead on the ground and look, you either stand on your toes or if it means getting the knees involved, at some point get the knees involved. But I'm going to do it on my toes. All right, this workout is targeted for the youth, so we got to do what we can. Got to take advantage of that youth. All right, okay. We're going to go ahead and start in 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's get it. Push up, tap, tap. Keep your body as still as you can. It's going to move a little bit naturally, but keep your stomach tight. Keep those abs tight. Exhale, tap, tap. Push up, tap, tap. Hands at shoulder width. Tap, tap. Push up, tap, tap. Keep going. Push up, tap, tap. 15 seconds left. Boom. Come on. You can exhale each time you tap. That way you have a steady breathing pattern. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and break. Here you go. Good stuff, good stuff. All right. Look, our next set is coming up. It's our last set of push-ups. Finish strong. Finish strong. You know, at the end of the day, life keeps going. And they say look at it as a marathon because it is. You keep going, you pace yourself. But when you see that finish line as far as one of your accomplishments, because there's going to be different marathons in life, go ahead strong, go all out to get to that finish line. I say start strong, finish stronger. So this last set, make it the best set period. It's going to take the most effort. Like I said, let's make this set the strongest one. Let's get it. Come on, get into that position. Let's hold it for a second. All right, good. There you go. There you go. Let's get it. Come on. That's it. 30 seconds left. Keep it up. Come on. That's it, that's it. 20 seconds left. Come on. Hey, good, keep digging. Get it. 10 seconds left. Come on, come on. And almost. All right, do one more in. And break. Okay, we're gonna get some extra in there. That's what it's about. Now, we're still gonna target our chest, just like the push-ups just did. Target your entire body, really, because you have to hold yourself up and stabilize yourself. So a lot of muscles get involved. Your lats get involved. Like I said, your shoulders, your chest. Of course, those arms, you feel those as well. But now we're gonna go ahead and get some chair dips in. This will be another exercise we're gonna do. I'm gonna have us do these for 30 seconds, 3 sets. 30 seconds, 3 sets. And the whole objective is gonna be looking forward, knuckles forward, palms on your chair, make you dip down, come up at the top. Now just go up to a point, as soon as your arms extend, you can go right back down. It's not necessarily about hyper-extending your arms, it's just about stopping at a point you're comfortable with. Beginners, you can just hold yourself out. And if you're a beginner and it feels like the going is getting a little bit too tough for you to handle right now, say you're not able to do it yet, you keep working at it, you will be. What'll happen is, I'm gonna ask you to sit down on the chair and take a quick break. You can come back and resume. Even if you have to limit your range of motion. Say you have to limit your range of motion a little bit, right? Limit your range of motion, all right? So adjust it accordingly based on how far you can go. I'm going to do the most advanced version, but you might have to do the more beginner variation, which I just demonstrated. Okay. We're going to go ahead and start in a good, matter of fact, let's do 40 seconds. I changed my mind. We're going to do 40. Let's get it. We're going to start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Like I said, it's tougher. We're tougher. Come on. 3, 2. All right, first set. Dip. Come up. Dip. Exhale at the top. Keep going. That's it. Come on. Remember, beginners, just hold yourself, or beginners just don't go down as far. You can feel free to take a break as well. But For the rest of us that can push through, we're gonna push through. But it's a matter of doing what you can. Go at your own pace. That's why it's rep-based. Well, that's why it's time-based and not rep-based. We're going off time. Yep, 10 seconds left. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and break. Good stuff. All right, our next set is coming up. 40 on, 40 off. We're gonna replenish, recuperate, recover. Then we're gonna come back even stronger for our next set, all right? That's what we're on. Okay. We're gonna start our next set soon. We're gonna start it soon. 20 seconds left. Shake your arms off. You can open up your arms, close them, open up, close. You know, just stay ready. Stay ready. We're gonna start our next set of tricep dips in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Come on, fellas, let's get it. Come on. All right, get into position and dig. Like I said, do what you can. That's it. Push through it. Look straight ahead and dig. Remember, my beginners, you might have to go like this. I'm gonna remind y'all, this is one of those tough exercises as well. You might have to just bounce up a little higher as opposed to fully bending and going down. But it's all good. You're gonna work the same muscle groups. Keep going. 12 seconds left. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Shake those arms off. One more set. Come on. Come on. We're gonna get that last set in. We're definitely gonna get that last set in. After this, we have some core work coming up. Then we're gonna stretch. All right? Then we'll end it off after that. Body up, cool down. That's the whole brand identity. So we do the intense exercises, you know, the intensity based off your level, but we make sure we cool down as well. We gotta relax, we gotta recover, and we gotta let our muscles just take a quick breather after going through all this, right? And that goes to show you how life balance works. You go ahead, you give it your all, appreciate your accomplishments, you challenge yourself, but then after that, you gotta make sure you make time to relax. You gotta make time for yourself, and you know, creates that balance. It's harmonious. 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's get it. Yup. Last set. Here you go. Come on, come on. Keep going, keep going. Get it. Keep going, keep digging. Yup, that's it. 18 seconds left. Here you go. Keep digging through, keep digging through. And almost 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. All right. There you go, there you go. All right, we got our push-ups in, got our tricep dips in. Now we're gonna get to this core work. And like I said, I'm gonna show some beginner variations, but the rule is everything's going to be 40 seconds. 40 on, 20 off. Then we're gonna go to our cool down stretches. Okay. I'll get the mat out for this. Let's briefly get some quick core work in. I'm gonna show you 2 exercises. All right, 2 different exercises. Okay. What's gonna happen for the first one? We're gonna lay on our backs. Core stability. It's gonna really be all about core stabilization with these. We're gonna go ahead and get some flutter kicks in, all right? Some flutter kicks coming up. We're doing those for 40 seconds. I'll show you what the beginner variation looks like as well. So with flutter kicks, beginner variation, your hands behind your head. You lift up, one leg at a time, just like that. The more advanced, which I'll be doing the entire time, goes like this. So again, beginners, advanced. All right, let's get it. And we're gonna start in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's get it, come on. Yeah, yeah, that's it. Come on. Doing 2 sets of these and we're stretching. Yep. Keep going through, keep going through. There you go. Good. Yeah. Yeah. Fight through it. Fight through it. I'm doing the same thing you're doing. We're going without a time. I'm waiting until that bell goes off. Come on. Keep going with me. Keep going with me. That's it. Come on. Yeah. Almost there. Like I said, I'm going through it with you. Let's get it. All right. So now we're gonna get that second set in. So that second set is coming up. We're gonna start that in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beginners. Remember, you do one at a time, more advanced. Just keep going with this. Keep going, keep digging. That's it. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And break. All right. There you go. That's part of the core work. And now what's going to happen, we're going to transition. We're going to make a nice solid transition to planks. Speaking of core stability, you know, this gets 100% of your core involved. So this is one of my favorite core exercises out there because it's so effective. And all you have to do is be still. It's simple, but it isn't easy. You know, it's a difference between the two words. All right? So now I'm going to go ahead and make that transition. And with planks, you have a beginner version where you hold yourself up diagonally and your elbows are right here on your chair, chin tucked in, and every time you breathe out, you blow out. Then you have a good flat version on the ground where it's a good 40 seconds. 40 seconds for each variation, okay? So we're doing it for a good 40 seconds regardless of the variation, all right? Okay. So we're gonna start our planks in 10, again, either diagonal on the chair. In fact, I'll do the 2 different sets separately, all right? So I'll do it flat first. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay. Tuck that chin in. Every time you breathe out, blow out. Yep, just hold it out, hold it out, hold it out. That's it. Keep going. 30 seconds left. Digging through. Get it. Hold it out, hold it out. Yep. 20 seconds left. Almost. And 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and okay, great. Our next set is coming up. So again, like I said, I was going to show both variations just to remind y'all. I showed you earlier, but again, if you are doing the beginner variation, hold yourself up on the chair. We'll see you go down like that. All right. Either way, we're going for a good 40 seconds. So we get one more set in. And this is the last exercise before we get a good quick post-workout stretch in, and we're good. Right? Last exercise of the day. Okay. We're gonna start in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And begin. Lock and hold. Every time you breathe out, blow out, like I said. Yep. Just lock and hold that. That's it. 27 seconds left. Yep, that's it, 20 seconds left. Almost. I'm gonna count you down. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and break. Okay. So like I said, now we're going to transition to our stretches, all right? Our first stretch, we're going to go on our back, and it's going to stretch our lower back. We're going to stretch our hip flexors, and we're just going to relax. You know, so let's get to it. Hold it for 10 seconds on each side. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Change up again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch up again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so now what'll happen, we'll go ahead and transition to some side bends. So knee to knee, ankle to ankle, flip it to one side, open the arms up like the letter T. We're gonna hold that for 15 seconds on each side. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's transition to the other side. And 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so now let's go ahead and make that transition. We're going to sit up into a butterfly position. All right. Again, stretching our hips, a little bit of our lower back. Let your upper body just relax for this particular position. You're going to hold that out for a good 15 seconds. Left on the clock. Now let's count down from 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now we're going to get some upper body stretches in. Make that good solid transition. Stand up. Bend one arm. Extend the back arm. And that's going to stretch your tricep and your shoulder. All right? So you're going to hold that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go. Bend and extend. So we're going to hold that out for a good 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put your hands together, press your palms forward, and we're also going to hold this one out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press your palms in. Then you're going to go ahead and press up all the way and hold that for a good 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop your hands down, look forward. Let's put our feet together. Let's cross our arms, okay? I'm gonna cross your arms, hold that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's my time. Look, keep God first. Anything's possible. Stay strong. Everything happens in accordance to his will. So he got us. He always had us. So keep it pushing. Keep the faith. And until we meet again, God bless.
Well, woo! Ooh, let me get myself together. Oh, You know, y'all take a few minutes to get y'allself together. Y'all see, ooh, woo! Y'all know it. Y'all been doing things. Y'all make me, ooh. I guess you said, Vakisha, you still got the same clothes on. Stop playing, girl. You right. You right. I ain't did nothing to sit there and watch y'all. You know, I didn't really think it would be appropriate for me to get back on sweating and everything. And I didn't want y'all to have, you know, as your hostess, you know, I wanted to make sure I was presentable. So, and you all look like you did such an amazing job that I was, you know, enlightened by all of your hard work. And Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Did you all enjoy y'all lovely, lovely workout? Thank you to Avante Bailey. He did that. I told y'all about the muscles yesterday. I said he made me put the potato chips down. He'll make you put the potato chips down. But he really did an awesome job. We want to thank you all so very much for being in the Zoom room today and getting that workout on. I'm gonna read some of y'all comments because y'all had me dying. Somebody said even the birds is back there praising the Lord. I heard Ben said he gonna burn the calories now so he can eat whatever. Now, poor little Ariana just said she wanted some fried chicken. That's not a part of the plan, baby girl. No, you gonna go get you a salad from the kitchen, or you could. Simone looked like she just mad. Simone, you mad? No, just Simone said, let me get this here bottle of water. Listen, we really appreciate everything that you've done. Of course, Brother Clemens said, who's ready for a pizza? He was talking about that pizza forever and ever and ever. So we thank you very much for that. And I just know I gotta give the shout out to the little people, because I saw some of y'all little folks, y'all young folks was in there, y'all was doing them sit-ups. When I seen the dips go down, them young folk, they hit the dip, and then that leg, I was inspired to work out the next. Liana, y'all make me proud to be a part of y'all, because y'all was doing things and making me feel like I could do it if I would do it. And but the way Sister Novella come through, the way this arthritis is that no, just kidding. So no, we gonna get it together. But we thank you very much. Remember to make sure that you go slow. If you feel as though you've done too much, like Avante said, you want to pace yourself, get a chair, start as a beginner. We thank you so much for being with us throughout this youth conference. We thank you for everything that you have done and how much time you've spent with us. We had almost 170 people that stayed for us. And somebody said they're about to go get some ice cream to replace the electrolytes or something like that. I don't think that's exactly how that works. Don't think that's how that works. We don't get electrolytes from ice cream. I don't think that's how that works. Somebody said they're gonna get some organic chips, and then Simone said she's not mad. She knows she just earned herself a meal. And he did tell you how to have water, so I do see a lot of y'all are hydrating. And Mother Mays, I hear you. Mother Mays told me, she said, honey, I do Zumba just a little bit, but that's okay, because Mother does one thing more than me. So we thank you we thank you. We know, and also Cheryl Sunshine over here, Cheryl Sunshine 2077. She got her cup. She is ready, y'all. Y'all follow her on YouTube. She out here doing things. So we thank you so much for joining us. Please, as you all get ready, we're going to unmute you for a little while and let y'all talk for a bit amongst yourselves. But we want you to know that live testimony service is tonight at 8:00. We'll have live testimony service. Remember, the buzz does come out, and you can watch the buzz at your leisure. So we do ask that you join us for the testimony service. We're not trying to put ourselves before the word. If you feel convicted that you got to read the word, listen to the word as soon as it come out, we're not going to stop you or talk about you. But we would love to have you in the live testimony session with us. But at this time, if we can ask Brother Greg to open up the room so some folks can have some conversation. And somebody said, if you're over 60, can you still get Michelle Obama arms? Yes, you can, Mother. You can. Might have to do a little bit more of them dips. Dips are not my friend. Them dips. Oh, it is open. Anybody got something to say? Y'all enjoy your workout?
Right.
Y'all talking to each other? Y'all talking? Anybody got something to say?
It burns.
It burns.
It burns. I hear that it burns so good. Ain't that how that goes?
I know this.
Like
so good.
Nothing better than when you wake up, the next day and you go to grab the covers, you like, oh, you kind of feel like you did something, so y'all get ready for the morning. That's all.
That's how you know it worked.
That's
how you know it worked out.
No pain, no gain.
That's it.
That's good right there.
That's it.
Vontae on here?
Yes, I don't, did Avante, did you join us? Let me see.
Avante did join us. So.
He did. I don't know if he's still here.
You here, brother?
He's
Are you
Janana.
still here?
Hey, Keys.
Junior.
There's Junior. Devontae, where's Devontae?
What's up, CJ?
Listen, y'all, tell y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all really made me like. They said they run in sand in the beach and it builds ankle muscles.
English, Shonda.
Hey, CJ. Oh, I see you, Clean. Okay, CJ.
He in the building.
Tanya, I'm impressed by your move.
What?
Plank. Is that Oreos you got in your hand, girl?
Oh.
Hello.
She allowed to eat 1 or 2.
Hey.
Keisha, go to Whole Foods and get you some organic potato chips. You hear me?
So we got Whole Foods and organic potato chips.
Yes, you can have your potato chips.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
Giovanna, please tell your brother we said thank you so much for an awesome workout.
I struggled with the chair dips.
I hate a dip,
chair in my
Simone.
room has wheels on it, so I was moving a little bit.
Nah.
Can't stand the chair dip. Well, that back here to get that back, that arm fat, get the burning and shaking, and then you start contemplating your life and you holding on for dear life, baby. That's it.
That's what
Hey, Lakeisha.
That was Isaiah, Keisha, Isaiah.
Yes, Isaiah.
Enjoy the planks.
I don't mind a plank. I don't mind a plank. I can sit up for days. I can plank for days. I can leg press for days. Don't ever have me hanging out on the side of a bridge because I'm going to die because I have no upper body strength. None.
I told you you were on there. Your thing is only showing you on the small one, but they can see you on the big screen.
Let's see.
did you say, Simone? The massage needs to come with his workouts for after.
So you know what you do is you set the nutrition hour with Tatiana first. There's Avante. Hey, Avante. Thank you. Let's see. Y'all got some questions for Avante?
She said a whole massage.
What's good, brother, man?
So Avante, some folks said that they need a massage after that. They said that they need to have a massage after the workout. Do you offer that?
Everybody got a business massage therapy today?
What did you say?
Anybody have a business with do massage therapy? That's a quick plug.
Yeah, that is quick money because after the day, they be lined up, okay? The way you made them arms burning.
The therapist needs a massage too.
We appreciate you. Now, Giovanni, like Avante, what you want to do? I think that I don't know if you're closer to the sound. We can barely hear you.
Hear me now?
No. Can we hear you now?
How about now?
There you go. That's a little better. That's a little better.
Good. I probably
Yeah. Everybody said it was a great workout. We did talk about the fact that you had advanced and you also had beginner workouts, told them to drink the water.
Yeah, get your water. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So well, let's see if we can let's see if we can get some closing thoughts from you. If our host, brother Greg, can you mute everybody? So Avante, he's muted everybody except for, I believe, the two of us. Are you unmuted?
And Avante's under Giovanni Bailey for TDI.
Yeah, I'm unmuted.
There you go. So can you give us some closing remarks, some things to remember? I know there was a lot of questions that came in. Somebody has arthritis and somebody wanted to know if yard work is considered exercise. So we have a few questions. So how about we just have you answer some of our questions?
Okay, I'll answer a couple of those questions. Yard work is considered exercise. You can do it like strategically, whereas though, you make it, you can make it like time-based. I want to make sure I get this amount of leaves up in this certain amount of time. And that way you're expending more energy and burning calories. And keeping in mind, if you do have arthritis, keep everything low impact. You know, don't make sure you don't bend your knees too much, or if you do need assistance with someone else, always be willing to have help when it comes to things like yard work, and do what you can. You know, it's good to work up a sweat, but you don't want to make anything cause any type of pain for yourself or anything along those lines, because that defeats the purpose of it. And when it comes to arthritis, again, let me elaborate on that. You want to do low impact exercises that don't involve a lot of ballistic or bouncing movements. So I have something coming out on YouTube, and I'll share it on the CLJC page. It's called the Total Body Trim Down 2. Some of the saints on here did the first one, and they have a beginner variation where as though you can follow along, and some exercises even include seated variations. So you're not putting too much impact on those bones and those joints, and you're still getting a good workout in. It's about doing what you can to get where you want.
So Avante, you know, one of the questions that came to Tatiana a little earlier on, I don't know if you were on, was about, you know, having those arthritic flare-ups. Like I have a little bit of flare-ups myself, but, you know, I still manage because, you know, I've been taught that you got to keep moving in order to get, you know, results out of those joints that hurt. But if you're someone that has major arthritic pain, and I know you know a little bit does, but what kind of exercises could you suggest that are low impact that don't have that ballistic bouncing?
So showing is better than telling, but it's something called power jacks, which is an alternative to jumping jacks. Let's say you want to get good cardio in and you want to get those limbs moving. You want to get steady circulation and blood flow throughout your body to help cope with that arthritis and to help keep those bones and joints from getting too stiff, right? You can actually make it where as though you're stepping instead of jumping. So you're stepping with one leg at a time, and you're making sure that you're not doing anything that causes you to like lift those feet off the ground or doing too much to where though that flare up will get worse. You have to listen to your body. So say you start doing an exercise and it's just too painful, well, resort to something else that'll help you burn calories. So that way you're still getting caloric expenditure when you're like walking in place instead of doing it for the remainder of the time. So that's why I recommend doing timed exercises. That's why I always have that in circuits. So say you start doing an exercise and the first 20 seconds, you're like, I'm not feeling this. Then you can go ahead and resort to like another mild, low impact exercise that you know doesn't bother you. Like it might be walking in place or just stepping one side at a time or doing a little dance move, getting something in. Like have fun with it too. Movement is medicine. So as long as you get moving.
That's awesome. And Sister Novella, actually, we want to give her a shout out because she was talking about that arthritic pain. But what she did was because a lot of it was difficult. She walked for 5 minutes straight in place. So it's little things like that. Someone asked, what's some good stretches for someone that may have scoliosis?
Ooh, so if somebody has scoliosis or some people have kyphosis, like an upward lean, like on the top of their neck, you can actually just stand up, tighten your stomach up, retract the shoulders back a little bit, and then make sure you have some nice, good core engagement so that way it can help improve those type of postures. Because it comes down to being postural in a sense, but at the same time, some things can get real advanced from a medical standpoint, whereas though some people might have to have certain procedures done to their bodies, but you can actually follow up and do other like low impact or like stationary exercises that don't involve like too much movement and just like and just improving your posture, just being cognizant of catching yourself if you're like leaning forward too much while you're doing something, or leaning backward too much if you have scoliosis, or leaning to the side too much, you can catch yourself like trying to improve your posture intentionally, keeping your stomach tight, holding it for a few seconds, then alleviating yourself. That's what I'm doing right now. Like I'm tight. You see that bounce right there? Like I'm literally just tightening my stomach up, tightening my core, then alleviating myself. Like just little things like that to help with that posture.
That's wonderful. I know that we talked a little bit about that low impact stuff, and someone was saying about, you know, is water exercise and pool work. I know that was one thing that my rheumatoid doctor told me, is that swimming is the best exercise for those that might have arthritis. Would you agree?
Yes, absolutely. Because you're getting that dynamic movement in and you're not putting as much pressure on your body because it's like a natural good free flow that you have going with the water. So you're actually stretching those muscles and, you know, getting those joints lubricated without doing too much. So it's a good way to free flow. Yeah.
And also for those that may not know, Avante does a lot of free, we do love free.com things on his page. So if you all want to get into shape, I know that he also is a health and wellness coach. So if you want to get some good meal plans and prepping, he does have some nutritionists that he works with as well. I've seen some of his work. He's on the gram at where?
ABNB workouts. Everything
ABNB workouts.
ABNB workouts. Yeah.
And you're on the book for the older ones on?
Yeah. Avante Bailey, or go to the Uncover You page. So the page is called Uncover You. The brand is actually called Uncover You now. A lot of you all know me as A Bailey Mind and Body. So that's the moniker I'm going by now for myself. Like that's my Elias, you could say, you know, A Bailey Mind and Body. But the brand is now called Uncover You because it's centered around you. You all the
I
people.
love that. I love that. I mean, I like the
That's
A
the
and
new brand
B.
transition. Yeah. Just
I like that, but I like the Uncover You better. I think
Oh
it's.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I love that.
To the point. It says a lot. You know,
Okay,
I
so
think fitness is deeper than fitness. You learn a lot about yourself, and like you got it within you. You all seen it today. I'm proud of y'all. I love y'all. And that's it for the questions, though.
no,
Like,
let's see what we got down here. We got some more questions. I know some of the questions that came out earlier, and we had to end some of the stuff, but I know you know nutrition as well. And we have about 9 minutes left, if you don't mind. So if you can tell some folks, I know that you do a really good job with meal prep, and people were talking about meal prep and how you manage your actual diet. I know that she went into a lot of diet. We talked about milk, you know, and what's the best milk to kind of go by, have more plant-based differences within your meals. So if you could give a few suggestions or tips without in your mind, what would you say?
Absolutely. So when it comes to whole grains, I'm glad she brought that up. The lighter the color, the more refined the carbohydrate usually is. And they add those bleaches, they add those sugars. So if you look for darker colored, more refined grains, like they got lentils, well, other like families out there, like such as quinoa, you know, I'm a big fan of brown rice. And, you know, usually like the darker grains have a lower glycemic index. So you don't have to worry about your blood sugar spiking up as high. You don't have to worry about it converting to fat as easily. So try to focus on those darker colored grains when you do take that route. That's like the biggest takeaway I could give. And again, I'm glad you all said something about fish too. Try to stay away from farm raised. You want to get on that wild caught vibe.
All day long.
You shoot them up with different steroids. They can feed them any and everything. It's like you just don't know what's being put in. You know, what's being put in the wild caught, God's providing that for them. So we know God's the greatest. So He's looking out for us. So whatever they're eating, we're good. You know what I mean? But
so talk to me about sugar, because you know that sugar is a big word. I know that most people realize that anything white is necessarily not the best for you as it relates for diet. Yeah. At least that's what Legend has. But I know a lot of people think though, oh, I had the Splenda, I had the Sweet and Low, I had the Equal, I had the this. How do you feel about sugar versus artificial sweeteners versus agave nectar versus sugar in the raw, as well as say, what was that, stevia, you know, and all that. So what can you take?
Yeah. The difference with those, again, is like the glycemic index. And when you start to get to those more processed, refined sugars, then it gets to a point where like that can impact your blood pressure more. They're usually in like, not blood pressure, your blood sugar. And that can lead to like, you know, problems with blood pressure, lead to other things, you know, different diseases are different cousins of each other. So you have to be careful and just make sure you go for those natural sugars that you can have in like fruits, like, you know, and that, like things like high fructose corn syrup that you have in those like water ices and all that other type of stuff. Soda is loaded with sugar. Like it's just added sugar with no nutritional value whatsoever.
None.
That's the worst route you could take. Like when things are all sugar. So to make it simple for people, right? To make it as simple as I can, you want to go for things that have more natural sugars, like your fruits, you know, like just to name a few, like the type of things that you named as well earlier. It's better to go with that more natural route versus going with like added sugar and those other things that don't have any nutritional value whatsoever.
Right.
You're getting your micronutrients, you know, and things along those lines. So you want to make sure, you want to avoid those processed sugars.
So I had somebody say, is natural honey good? Natural honey I know is good, but would you agree? So, okay, I drink coffee, right? I like coffee. I like, you know, I like it light and I like it almost sweet. Not sweet, but almost sweet. So what would I put in my coffee if I'm an avid coffee drinker, but I want to cut back on some sugar? What should I use?
That's a good question. See, I'm not an avid coffee drinker myself, but they do have non-dairy, like low sugar alternatives to that, like that you could put into the coffee as well. Because like I said, I'm not really big on coffee, but they have different coffee creamers out and things along those lines. Oh, somebody just passed me one right here. Nah, that's not the move. They have lactose-free versions of it, but you know, I like the healthiest way to drink coffee is to go straight with the coffee itself. You're really going there for, you know, the caffeine, the energy boost. But if you want to add a little bit of flavor, you know, I would go with things that were lactose-free and things that do not have the added sugar. So
right.
That's what I would say, because that's all preference. That's all subjective. You know, some people drink coffee dark and straight, so people add things to it. So,
yeah. Okay, so here's a great question, and I know you have the answer for this. Tell me, why do people crave junk food so much?
Because it's right in front of us. You know, culturally we're raised off that, and it tastes so good. But when you find other alternatives out there that you can replace like different snacks with, like to actually like, you know, help cope with those sweet and salty cravings that you have, you'll be able to be in good shape after that.
You know, like combining different things. Like they even have like whole grain rice cakes, which are low calorie as well. You know, they have other things out there that you can get. Like I like the alternative she said, you know, the sister earlier, Tatiana, you know, you actually have blueberries in there and other
That was
like
awesome, right?
Yeah.
I was like, yo, that's what's up.
Yeah, because I even tell my clients about that. You know, like even like if you crave ice cream, you could actually have frozen like sugar-free Greek yogurt and add fruits in there as well. And you know, you're still getting a good cold cut in, but not cold cut, but like a good cold sweet treat in. But at the same time, it's like beneficial. It has nutritional value. That's what it's about.
I've actually taken a smoothie. That's the one time because you know I done told y'all I don't really like smoothies. So
Yeah.
I'll take it and freeze it and put it in a bowl like it's ice cream.
Yeah.
Nothing but fruit, you know, and try things like that. And someone said that sugar is very addictive. Apparently, they say sugar is more addictive than an actual drug, and that it is the worst drug to be on. Lots of studies. If you all want to go out there and like do some research, you can research sugar. Sugar is extremely addictive.
Very addictive. That's why. Yeah, that's one reason why we crave that so much too.
Yep.
And it also like it's again, it goes back to glycemic index, spiking your blood sugar up like that. You get a quick rush. They call it a sugar rush, and you wind up crashing right after that. It has no nutritional value. They're empty calories when you have those high sugar foods. So always go for foods that are more natural based and have natural sugars, such as like the fruits and other things we spoke on earlier.
Here's the preference.
He took it back, man. Every African American on here, we not gonna say it don't, but
right?
Yeah, but,
that's
man,
an argument right there.
It has to be in there, man. It definitely does not have to be.
This is great. Well, we have 3 minutes left. So Avante, what closing words would you give? Where would you send folks? You know, I don't know if you have the ability to write your info and put it in the chat so that you can mix. Kool-Aid is an absolute no. That's nothing but chemicals and sugar and water. I don't even need Avante to tell us that.
Right.
It's bad to drink a whole gallon of orange juice, empty calories.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Even though it has like nutrients in it and things on those lines with orange juice, by the time you drink the whole gallon, bro, the amount of sugar you're consuming, natural or processed sugar at that point, you don't want to drink a whole gallon down in one day, my good brother. Nah, it's not the move. But yeah, my closing remarks would be like when you're on a fitness journey, I like when she said it comes, well, she pretty much worded in her own way, like I'm paraphrasing here, that it starts with the internal first versus the external. A lot of people do it for appearance first. And then what happens is they try to go right back. Like say you go on one of those diets, and I love that she didn't use the word diet. So big up to Tatiana earlier. You go on these fad diets, you wind up starving yourself of these different nutrients, whether good or bad, right? And then as soon as you get back to eating regular foods, your body's metabolism already slowed down so much to a point that any bit of energy that it's looking for wants to grab on, good or bad, you wind up gaining that weight back and some. So it's better to treat it like a lifestyle, not a trend. So find a program that works for you. Do exercises you enjoy. Like me personally, I started off doing boxing exercises that made me take fitness serious. And I started cutting out things that I didn't like, you know, in my diet prior to that, or my eating habits. Let's not use the word diet. We staying away from that.
Right. Healthy lifestyle. Change your lifestyle.
Right. And then, you know, I started like getting into weightlifting, which is something I enjoy as well. The calisthenics that you seen me do earlier that I had the brothers follow along with. I wanted to make sure it was equipment free. I hopped on the chair and did what y'all did. So that was dope. But find a program you enjoy. And be patient with yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Do not go into the program beating yourself up and being upset. You know, the results didn't happen overnight. And, you know, just go in there with a positive spin and a positive approach.
That's it. And, you know, honestly, that's one of the things I think that most of us took away. I mean, personally, if I can say it, somebody put it in the chat, everything in moderation, you know, I'm a coach as well too, but I do life coaching. And that's one of the things I tell people all the time. The Bible talks a lot about moderation. And, you know, you keep on talking about how God, like he created everything we have. And that's what he's given us the stuff. He made the food we're supposed to eat. And if we remember that everything is supposed to be done in moderation, it really does help for a better systematic way and approach on healthy lifestyle. So, you know, big shout out to you and Tatiana for coming in the room and like spreading this gospel and getting these news, you know, and everybody that I know that is struggling on their weight loss journeys, on their more health journeys, on just trying to be consistent journeys, or I need to just get one goal, stick to it. You know, whatever the journey is, we want to just thank you for what you do in the community.
Thank you.
I know you're out there doing big things, and I want to thank you for what you're doing in the body. And we just ask everybody, so put your info in the chat before we go. And we got one. Is coconut water good or bad for you?
It's good. I mean, it has electrolytes in it, so it's good. It's not like the ultimate go-to alternative. You know what I mean? But coconut water is good for you. It is good for you.
All righty. Well, Avante's going to put his info in the chat. Thank you very much to everybody else. I want to remind you all that we do have the Little Flock Fashion Show. Y'all got to see our babies come up and support the Little Flock tonight. That's from 7:15 to 7:45. We want to show up and show off for our little babies. Or nobody. I got told off in a company in a closed company about they're not babies. Okay, so let me get myself together for our junior youth. So please make sure that we're there. We thank you very much for everything. And Avante, put your info in there, and y'all come back at 7:15, okay? Thank you so much, everybody, for your participation. So I suppose all of our lovely, you have now been unmuted. I know you all like to hang out in the room for a little while.
Okay.
Hanging out in the room for a minute. And then we'll get ready for the Little Block Fashion Show. And then make certain you come on for our live testimony. Right?